The World Should Be Perfection, Rewritten Video Script, Part 1, The Hook and Emotional Setup. Narrator, soft but intense voice. Have you ever just sat there, staring blankly at your phone, not texting, not calling, just existing, lost in the endless loop of scrolling apps you don't even care about? You're not busy, not really, you're just waiting, waiting for a sign, for a message, for something, anything that proves they're still thinking about you. A hey, a meme, a song they remembered you liked, one notification, that's all, but all you get is silence. Loud, deafening silence. And then, like it's on a timer, the memory starts playing again. That moment, the exact second they pulled away, when their eyes went cold, when their voice changed, when they said something that felt like a blade, or worse, said nothing at all. You felt your stomach drop, like your soul took a hit so hard it forgot how to breathe. And here's the truth we don't say out loud. You're not even mad. Not really. You're not plotting revenge. You're not trying to make them suffer. You just want them to get it, to finally understand, to look at you and realize, damn, I let go of something rare. I didn't just lose someone, I lost the one. And maybe, just maybe, you want to hear what you thought you'd never get. I'm sorry. But not the empty kind. Not a text at 2 a.m. after a few drinks. Not a breadcrumb. But a real, from the heart apology from the version of them that finally sees your value. Music shifts. Slow piano with subtle strings. Because rejection, real rejection, doesn't just hurt. It shatters something in you. Not just your relationship, but your identity. You start doubting everything. How you laugh, how you love, how much of yourself you gave away without asking for anything in return. You start whispering questions you'd never admit to anyone. Was I not enough? Was I too much? Did I love wrong? And people, bless them, they mean well. They say things like, move on. You deserve better. They're not worth it, but they don't understand. Because you feel, that this story doesn't feel finished. There's a thread still hanging. An open door that's never truly closed. And maybe, just maybe, you're right. Cut to calm, grounded voice, educational tone woven with empathy. Here's the truth that most people will never tell you. Rejection is rarely about you. It's not about your worth. It's about your energy, your beliefs, the silent stories you carry beneath the surface. It's about that little voice in your chest whispering, they'll leave. I always get hurt. I'm not enough. You didn't say those words, but your energy did. And people respond to energy long before they respond to words. Keyword-rich insight woven into the narrative. See, most of us don't realize this, but we don't attract what we want. We attract who we are. And if you're walking around as the version of you who expects rejection, you'll keep finding it. Not because the world is cruel, but because you haven't rewritten the story you're living yet. And here's the wild part. You can. Right now. Right here. You can begin rewriting the ending, not with fantasy, not with false hope, but with truth, power, and grounded clarity. Let me ask you something. Soft pause, suspenseful tone. If someone really regretted losing you, what would that look like? Would they keep pretending you never mattered? Would they post stories to look happy, hoping you're watching? Would they move on without a trace of ache? Number, because real regret leaves fingerprints. They'd hear a song and flinch. They'd stare at your name in their contacts for weeks. They'd type out a message, delete it, and type it again. They'd rehearse that apology over and over in their mind, because that kind of guilt doesn't go away easily. Energy shift, inspiring tone, keyword-rich advice. But here's the part you have to own, and it's big. Stop waiting. Stop checking their story. Stop stalking their feed. Stop hoping that they'll see your worth. when you're still doubting it yourself. Because here's the paradox. They don't come back when you chase. They come back when you change, when you level up quietly, when you move like someone who knows exactly who they are, when you finally become the version of you that they never saw coming, but can't stop dreaming about now. That's the version that haunts them, the you that stopped begging, the you that stopped explaining, the you that doesn't need closure because they became their own healing. Music swells slightly, voice slows for emotional punch. So now, close your eyes. Really, right now. Do it. Let this moment hit you. Picture them walking up to you, not cocky, not arrogant, but broken, honest, software, and they say, I messed up. I never should have let you go. I'm sorry. And tell me, right there, in your chest, not your he.
Part 2, Becoming Unforgettable. Narrator, calm, centered voice. Let's be honest. We talk a lot about healing, about letting go, about self-love, but no one talks about the middle, the raw, brutal, messy middle, that strange no man's land where they're already gone, but they still live in your mind like a ghost you never invited. You're not over them, but you're also not the person you used to be when they had you. So who are you now? Internal cliffhanger, the identity crisis. You wake up and everything feels different. Your favorite song? Now it hurts. The restaurant you loved? Avoid it. Even your laugh sounds unfamiliar because they didn't just take their presence. They took the version of you that existed in their world, and now you're left standing in a hallway with every door closed, except the one you're terrified to open, the one marked, Become Someone New. Soft internal dialogue, like a whisper to self. But who even is that person? I don't feel strong. I don't feel wise. I don't want to glow up. I want answers. Truth bomb. Narrator voice sharpens with clarity. Here's the answer they won't give you on Instagram. You don't heal by pretending you're okay. You heal by looking dead in the eyes at the version of you that settled, shrunk, begged, overgave, and forgot their own power, and choosing to outgrow them. Shift to deep reflective guidance. Let's go deeper. Let's talk about why they left, not just in the surface sense, we weren't compatible or timing was off, but at the soul level, because the truth is, sometimes they don't leave because you were weak. Sometimes they leave because they sense the part of you that didn't fully love yourself. And that part, it scared them. See, most people don't want to take responsibility for that kind of pain. It's easier to blame you, to ghost, to move on quickly. But deep down, they knew. They knew they had something rare in their hands, something too real for their shallow hands to hold. And instead of rising to meet your love, they dropped it, hard. Motivational rise. Narrator shifts to empowering energy. Now you're left with a choice. Let their rejection define your worth, or let it refine your identity. Because here's what healing actually looks like. It's not manicuring your pain into pretty quotes. It's not pretending you don't miss them. It's not forcing joy when your soul is screaming. Healing is war. It's falling apart at 2 a.m. It's writing texts you'll never send. It's deleting their photos one by one and crying anyway. It's telling yourself the truth. I deserved more. And I'm going to become someone who never forgets that again. Practical tools, emotional but grounded advice. Let's start building that version of you. Step 1. Silence the echo. Every time you check their page, every time you reread that last message, every time you replay the breakup like a movie on loop, you're feeding the echo of who they were, and that echo gets louder until it drowns out your own voice. So today, mute them, unfollow, archive, delete if you have to. Not because you're petty, because you're healing. Because every time you protect your peace, you're telling your nervous system, I am safe without them. Step 2, rewrite the story. Stop saying, I lost them. They were everything. I'll never find love like that again. Start saying, I outgrew the version of me who needed their love to feel enough. I didn't lose them. I released what couldn't love me back. What's meant for me will never confuse me. Because language is energy, and you've been speaking to your pain like it's permanent. It's not. Step 3, reclaim the mirror. This one is personal. Go to the mirror, look into your own eyes and say these words, even if your voice shakes. I'm sorry I forgot your worth. I'm sorry I lowered your standards. I'm sorry I allowed crumbs when you deserved a feast. I see you now, and I promise it won't happen again. Keyword rich affirmation moment. Emotional but SEO friendly. Because healing after heartbreak isn't just about moving on. It's about coming home to your self-worth, to your identity beyond the relationship, to your emotional resilience. It's about becoming so whole that love becomes the bonus, not the bandage. Cliffhanger setup, the return. And here's where it gets interesting, because once you step into this energy, into this transformation, they start to feel it. Even if you never post a thing, even if you stay silent, even if they've moved on, they feel the shift. That tether they once had to your pain, it snaps. And suddenly, you're gone. Energetically, spiritually, emotionally, gone. And that's when the regret begins. So in part 3, we're going to go even deeper. We're going to explore what happens next, when they feel your absence, when they try to come back, when the tables turn. B.